This is BBC.
Well, what a silly budget Mr. Osborne put forward today, and he said that the deficit has been cut by a half. Who the hell does he think he's fooling? Mr. Osborne has managed to borrow for more than 5 years the Labour gig in 13 years. There's no mentioning of the fact that people are earning less than they did 10 years ago because of mass immigration. George Osborne is running a low-wage economy, and it's very true. The minimum wage has become the maximum wage for millions of people because of the open door to the EU, the wages have fallen, and the cost of living has fallen as well. Mr. Osborne was proudly stating the fact that cost of living has actually improved for many families. I don't know what world he's living in, but many families are struggling to keep at home. Many families are struggling to run their car, etc., despite Mr. Osborne's frozen fuel duties, etc. Now, this country is the most expensive country to live in Europe, and this is because of mass immigration and all. And also, Mr. Osborne has said that the projected growth revised by the ABR is 2.5%. Guess what? Outside the EU, it would be double figures. I believe it would be. It would probably be about 10% more at 12.5%, because being part of the EU, we are chained to this ever-declining socialist trading bloc. Britain trades more with the rest of the world than it actually does with the European Union, yet we do not have a seat on the World Trade Organization table. But when you get a conservative person knocking your door, just say to them that how come you actually borrow more in 5 years than Labour did in 13 years? And how come real wages have actually fallen continuously under this government? Other points raised in the budget was a tax-free allowance to go up to 10,800 next year. Chancellor pledges end to austerity by 2019-2020. He pledges an end to austerity by the end of next Parliament. But why should we believe anything the Chancellor says when the deficit has gone up more in 5 years than under the Labour government, which had 13 years of office? Why should we believe you, Mr. Osborne? Because the deficit has ran up incredibly, and will keep going up under Mr. Osborne. And yet this government is continually, and with the support of Labour, really wants to pledge to actually still spend 0.7% of our total GDP on foreign aid, and also plans to spend billions of pounds on a useless high-speed rail project known as HS2. And there is money to be saved out there, but Mr. Osborne is refusing to axe HS2, or refusing to actually cut the foreign aid by 85%, and the Conservatives are refusing to give you, with the support of Labour and the Liberals, are refusing to give you a referendum on EU membership so we can get out and we can really get our economy growing. And I believe that our economy would be much more stronger if we were outside the European Union. We'd be able to make our own trade deals, and many countries across the world and many businesses outside the European Union have said they'll invest more in Britain if Britain was outside the EU. Forgetting this Channel 4 documentary, which said UKIP 100 days, that's just false, because I believe UKIP would if there was actually a UKIP government, I believe this country would be much stronger and richer, because we're outside the EU, less red tape for small businesses as well. And under this government, they've actually allowed the EU more powers from the EU and more laws from the EU to be slapped onto small businesses, which don't make any sense whatsoever. It just increases the paperwork of small businesses and also increases the costs of small businesses as well. And I mean, obviously, it just... I mean, the economy has grown, yes, but it is welcome that there is economic growth, yes, but it would be much stronger if we're outside the EU. It would be small businesses would be able to thrive more, certainly from being outside the European Union. But this is a budget that is full of lies and full of contradictions. The Tories' record in power has been very slim indeed. I think the Tories are voting next general election is that people want this country back, and obviously people want to actually know that their finances are being kept in order. Mr. Osborne had his chance to actually back the books for Britain, but when this Chancellor and this government pledges to spend more foreign aid, and also at the meantime cripple our defence forces, it just stinks and is really bad, because if you look at the world situation in ISIS and Russia, how the hell are we going to defend ourselves? And pledging to keep the foreign aid budget to 0.7%. I think the majority of the British people want the foreign aid budget cut, and would welcome our defence forces. I mean, there's always been huge public support for the work our armed forces do, and I think defence spending should be ring-fenced, foreign aid should be cut, and it just makes sense. And also the green taxes should be cut as well, and that's what I think next budget should be. Cut green taxes, cut foreign aid, ring-fence defence and National Health Service spending, abolish the Department of Climate Change, that is useless, and also abolish wind farm subsidies as well, and abolish solar farm subsidies as well. That'll be a start. But Mr. Osborne's budget was really an omni-shambles.